Would you like to become great in the kingdom of heaven? When I began to think about this, what actually it would take to become great, I thought certainly I'd have to have a whole bunch of books, or become a scholar or a theologian, maybe go to a seminary, receive a degree, or perhaps become a desert monk and live by myself as a hermit and pray all the time. And I'd like to share with you something I learned. You actually don't have to do any of those things, although you can if you want to. Jesus taught about this, and when he was standing amongst a small group of children, he said, if you want to become great in the kingdom of heaven, in fact, if you want to enter the kingdom of heaven at all, you have to become like one of these little ones. Well, they weren't a bunch of scholars. They weren't a group of theologians he was addressing. He was with children. So there must be something about a child that Jesus would recommend becoming like one that has something to do with perhaps the way they see the world. Now, I have a child. I don't know if you have any children, but I have one, and she's not small anymore. But I can say from personal experience that small children, even the littlest ones, are very good at three things. They trust naturally, they depend upon their families, and they also give and receive love freely. And so what I think Jesus is saying is that you don't need a theology degree or to become a monk to enter the kingdom of heaven. All you have to do is relate to God intentionally the way a small child relates to his family naturally. So, here are three things you can do to become great in the kingdom of heaven. I'd like to share something else with you that I learned. Building trust with God is a skill. It's something that I can actually do consciously. And nothing says I trust you more than taking somebody's suggestions for your life. So, the first thing to do is to follow God's commandments. In expressing his love for us, God gave us a set of commandments to follow, which are not like the commandments that are issued by a government or a legislature that have penalties built in for noncompliance. They are instead a description of a way of life that frees us from bondage to ourselves and allows us to live in harmony with God's creation. They set for us a mark to shoot at. They are a target to aim at. And when we keep them, something wonderful happens. As our lives work themselves out, we begin to feel God taking care of us, managing us, providing for us, the same way that a small child becomes secure in feeling his parents provide for him. And this sort of trust that we build through experience is not an intellectual trust that somebody can talk you out of. This is a trust that will last through all sorts of difficulties and through happiness too. You can find the commandments listed in the Gospel according to St. Matthew in chapters 5, 6, and 7, plainly stated. And they are common sense. They tell us what love is and how we should show that love to each other and to God. Now, this may seem difficult because this is unconditional love, and it is difficult. And it is the easiest hard thing you'll ever do, because built into the commandments is a mechanism that allows us to keep them. Let me explain. No one keeps the commandments of Christ on his own. God has to help him do it. So what draws the grace of God into our life to keep these commandments is humility. And we don't learn humility from things that we succeed at. We learn humility from things that we fail at. So in trying to keep the commandments, we're sure to fail. But if we try to keep them earnestly, and when we fail, we get up and try again, that act of humility draws the grace of God to us and has in it the seeds of our future success if we try again. And if we fall again, we can get up and try again for as many times as it takes until God gives us the grace we need to keep them perfectly. Okay, here's the second thing. Dependence on God. We can depend upon God by remembering him throughout the day. I don't know about you, but I tend to say a couple prayers in the morning quickly and then run off on my day and forget all about God until I have a meal, and then I say grace over the meal. So to keep God in mind throughout the day is to include him in everything that you do. You know, you can speak to him throughout the day. You can tell him how your day is going. And when you start something, you start a fresh task, you can pray first, very quickly. 3 words, Lord bless me. And if you're doing that task and it's going badly and looks like it's going to be trouble, you can pray, Lord save me. And if you finish the task and it worked out well, you can say, glory to thee, O God. And there's one more thing you can do all the time, which is always appropriate. And that is simply to keep in mind and to say often, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. And now the third and final thing, freely give and freely receive love. As you go throughout your day, make a conscious effort to love the people that you find right around you. And allow them the pleasure of loving you and helping you. Do this without any expectation of return. Just simply offer your gift or accept theirs and continue with your day. This can be as simple as listening to someone when they have a problem, or offering an encouraging word when someone's having a bad day, clearly having a bad day, or simply accepting an offer of help that you might otherwise have turned down, because the person will feel joy and pleasure at having helped you. And this might help. Try to see the image of God. Try to see Christ in every person that you see today, and treat them accordingly. How would you treat Christ? God standing before you. And apply that to the person that you see. The kingdom of heaven belongs to those who trust God, who depend on him, and who give and receive his love freely. Now, you can be a theologian too, and also a monk, and that's fine. But this is so simple that even a subdeacon can do it. What's your experience with these things? Let me know in the comments below.